Like me, you have memories of your childhood, the place where you grew up, and of how to do things like grow a garden. And as part of a family, you undoubtedly share memories of events or traditions with your brothers and sisters, parents and grandparents. You may even have memories held in common with other people in your community, like harvest celebrations or planting trees to commemorate a friend lost to violence or illness. Memories held collectively by a group of people are called social memories. You, as an individual, remember, but you also live in multiple groups, in a nation, a family, or a city neighborhood. And we draw on other people in these groups to remember and to recreate the past. In this way, our memories derive from social interactions. Social memories are also reinforced by sharing with others through stories, symbols, rituals, and celebrations. Some social memories are specifically related to ways in which we obtain food, like farming, hunting, and fishing, as well as the non-consumptive ways in which we interact with nature. These memories not only serve us during our everyday lives, but also can be drawn on during times of crisis. During the First and Second World Wars, food shortages were pervasive in European cities. 800,000 city dwellers starved to death in Germany during the Hunger Years of 1917 through 1918. In war-torn cities where residents carried with them memories of how to grow vegetables, they created urban food gardens, like the Victory Gardens during World War II in the United States. And these gardens became an important source of food or resilience, enabling people to survive. We saw something similar after the fall of communism, when the decline of the Soviet system of collective agriculture created food shortages in cities. But Russians who retained knowledge of how to grow food started gardening around the periphery of cities, enabling them to be resilient in the face of massive social and economic upheaval and disruption. Social memories of how we cultivate food are sometimes transported from one place to another. And similar to what occurred during the two world wars and after the fall of communism, these external social memories, together with ecological memories, can be a source of resilience. Hmong refugees carried seeds of cherished plants sewn in their jackets when they fled to refugee camps in Thailand and then later to the United States. But they also carried memories of how to cultivate squashes, eggplants, and foot-long beans. They used these memories to recreate agricultural practices from their Laotian homeland in places like Sacramento and Minneapolis. In this way, they were able to bounce back from the hardships and changes they faced, to be resilient. Sometimes governments purposefully set out to destroy social memories, as when American Indians were forced into boarding schools so that their language and culture would be forgotten. Although perhaps not so intentionally, the move towards industrial agriculture also has resulted in the loss of diverse social memories of growing food. These memories evolved in response to local conditions like seasonal patterns of rain and drought, and soils derived from localized biological and geological processes. As we move towards more uniform and efficient systems of food production, not only are seed varieties lost, but also cultivation practices that evolved in response to specific climates and soils are forgotten. Like the loss of ecological memory, the loss of social memories of cultivation practices means there are fewer options or resources to draw on as we face new changes, whether related to climate, soils, or human conflict and resettlement. But anthropologist Virginia Nazaria talks about how the social memories of uncaptured spirits, along with ecological memories or biological legacies, enable us to counter the homogenizing forces we face today. Her words, which I quote below, capture much of the essence of civic ecology. In biodiversity conservation, resilience can be found in diverse genetic compositions, internal and external, to disturbed ecosystems. Of prime importance here are biological legacies and reservoirs. But resilience is fostered as well in small, reverberating acts of human defiance to the homogenizing forces that erode identity, agency, and diversity. While intellectual and policy debates may stress loss, surrender, and abandonment, associated with sweeping habitat fragmentation and agricultural development, and emptying not only of forests and fields, but also of reserves of local knowledge and memory, it is important to acknowledge a powerful counter in marginal fields and uncaptured spirits. For the most part, this counter is lodged not in rhetoric and text, but in the senses and the flesh, in the dance, pungency, and grittiness of everyday life. Sensuous recollection in marginal niches and sovereign spaces that people carve out of uniformity and predictability constantly replenishes what modernity drains. Civic ecology stewards who save their heritage varieties seeds and retain cultural traditions in a community garden, or who draw on memories of oystering and remnant populations of oysters to restore the once abundant bivalve to the New York City estuary, or who tend live oak trees damaged in a hurricane to express their rootedness and resilience in New Orleans, are developing ecological and social memories to reimagine, replenish, and recreate flourishing spaces, to be resilient. In this way, ecological and social memories are important ingredients that enable civic ecology practices to emerge. But through the work of civic ecology stewards, like refugees and other residents working together in a community garden, who together devise new ways of controlling insect pests and celebrating the harvest, new ecological and social memories emerge.